You are given 1,020 years to build something in the USA. What do you build? I would build a table. I'm pretty sure I could learn how to do that in 20 years. Yeah, but it'll collapse the minute you leave it alone. I'd build a chair for this guy's table. A legitimate railway system for public transportation. One of the biggest issues I've had with the US when living there. They told me public transport wasn't good. They didn't tell me that it was freaking non-existent. The sad thing is that some cities had really good ones. But car companies lobbied to remove them. Los Angeles had an awesome tram system. A giant statue dedicated to me for all the hard work I did building it. Is that you, Bender? I hope you use your name for inspiration of said statue. Pay the Japanese and or French to build actual good quality high-speed rail to every state. Ooh, and since we're doing this all at once, can they all work off a single payment system? Obviously prices would still vary depending on certain factors. But I wanna be able to boop card scanners with just one card and go all the way across the country. No more buy a bus pass card in place A to get to place B where you have to pay in cash like a caveman to get to point C where there is exactly one beaten up old machine that spits out a paper ticket that will bring you to point D where you have to download their bus app. Trains are pretty freaking sweet indeed over here in France except for strikes, but let's not talk about that. 2 office chairs for the military. 2 office chairs for the military. You reminded me of this exchange from Duck Soup, 1933, Rufus T. Firefly. Now that you're Secretary of War, what kind of an army do you think we ought to have? Chicolini. Well, I tell you what I think. I think we should have a standing army. Rufus T. Firefly. Why should we have a standing army? Chicolini. Because then we save money on chairs. Slight correction. You lost 20 chairs, but for some reason they are 000, 000, 000 each to replace. I would invest it in safe nuclear power generation to make cheap electricity for everyone. As a conservation biologist, I also approve of this. Why aren't more people talking about nuclear? It's the only way. As a physicist, I approve this. I'd squander it on an unwinnable war. I'd play the hits. The distant rumble of Donald Rumsfeld coming in his pants. Does dismantling the insurance industry count as building something? Only if you word it as building a brighter future or something. Technically, no. But it's the damn insurance industry. So yes please. Time to build that space elevator. Guys. New jobs for everyone. It's said to build something in the USA. A space elevator can only be built on the equator. It simply won't work otherwise. Not to mention the required exotic materials that isn't known to exist. Imagine if some jackass hit all the buttons so you had to make a stop every 10 feet. Nothing. Like most people who get money, I can now game the system and ensure I never have to pay you back anything. I'm the richest person in the world at this point. Try me. You are so rich that spending the money would cause hyperinflation. Buy Nestle. Then dissolve it. In what? Water? Where will you find the water? They thought of everything. So give an absurd amount of money to the evil people that run Nestle. Then mass fire people who need their jobs and the insurance that comes with it. Nice LOL. Bridge to Hawaii edit. I appreciate people are considering the engineering challenges of my dumb joke and allegory for the Afghanistan war. Oh. Sorry, that costs $2,001,001. Bridge collapses. Would this be possible even with those resources? Any engineers that can weigh in? The ocean is pretty damn deep. I'd spend it on healthcare and education. And a giant statue of William T. Sherman on Stone Mountain looking down on Atlanta with flaming eyes. But mostly health and education. Oh. And fix our fricking roads and bridges. You guys realize that we in Atlanta ain't the problem, right? The worst thing about Atlanta is it's surrounded by Georgia. Frick yeah. I always thought we should make Sherman the centerpiece of Stone Mountain. It would serve a reminder to these Confederate sympathizers what happens when you frick around too much. Atlanta burning is part of their heritage after all.